Chosen one, this will make you laugh because you're about to go from zero to informed real quick, and I mean real quick. The people who used to control you, manipulate you, and push you around are about to get the shock of their lives when they realize their favorite pushover just developed bulletproof boundaries overnight. And what I'm about to show you is going to make you laugh at how obvious all their games have become. Something incredible is happening to your energy field right now, and it's operating on a level that's going to blow your mind. It's like you've developed this invisible shield that automatically repels lies, manipulation, and energy vampires. The best part, you're not even trying. It's become as natural as breathing. All those years of dealing with narcissistic bosses, toxic family members, and energy-draining friends have created something unexpected inside you. You've become what I call a human lie detector, and it's working overtime to protect the new version of yourself that's emerging. Remember that coworker who always volunteers you for extra projects by telling the boss you love staying busy? 3 days ago they tried the same trick, and instead of your usual polite smile and reluctant agreement, something incredible happened. You looked them dead in the eye and said, "No, I'm not available for that." No explanation, no apology, no guilt, just pure, unshakable boundaries. The look on their face was priceless, complete shock, because they just realized their favorite manipulation target has developed immunity to their tactics. And this is just the beginning of your transformation. What's happening next is going to test every single person in your life, and you're going to discover exactly who deserves to stay and who needs to go. Starting right now, you're entering what I call the 4-day test period. Every single person who has ever manipulated, controlled, or taken advantage of you is about to receive a cosmic memo that their old tactics don't work anymore, and they're going to test you to see if it's really true. Your phone is about to become a battlefield. Text messages from people you haven't heard from in months are going to start flooding in. That ex who only contacts you when they need something, they're about to slide into your messages with some emergency that only you can help with. Your boss who promised you a promotion 6 months ago and then conveniently forgot, they're about to offer you some new opportunity that sounds suspiciously like more work for the same pay. That family member who always guilt trips you into hosting holiday dinners, they're going to call with some sob story about how nobody else can do it quite like you. Your friend who always borrows money and forgets to pay it back, they're going to have a sudden financial crisis that requires your immediate assistance. You're going to read every single message, and then you're going to do something that will absolutely devastate them. You're going to leave them on read, not because you're being petty, not because you're playing games, because you finally understand something that's going to change your entire life forever. You understand that your time, energy, and attention are precious resources that you've been giving away for free to people who don't deserve them. You know what separates chosen ones from everyone else. You go from zero to informed real quick. Real quick. Most people take years to figure out they're being manipulated. They make excuses, give second chances, convince themselves that toxic behavior is just someone having a bad day. You smell manipulation from 3 blocks away now. That sweet voice saying, "I was just thinking about you," immediately triggers your internal alarm system because you know there's a favor request coming in the next sentence. Let me tell you what happened to someone just like you last week. Their toxic mother called with that special tone reserved for major guilt trips. In the past, this chosen one would have spent 30 minutes listening to complaints about their siblings, their father, their job, their health, absorbing all that negative energy like a sponge. This time, 3 sentences in, they said, "Mom, I can hear you're upset. Call me back when you want to have a real conversation," and hung up. The silence was deafening, because manipulative people aren't prepared for boundaries that actually have consequences. Your brain has developed what I call rapid pattern recognition. You see the setup coming before they even finish their first sentence. You recognize the guilt trip before they start crying. You spot the manipulation before they ask for the favor. It's like having superhuman emotional intelligence. And this is just the warm-up for what's coming next. Your body is about to join this revolution in ways that will absolutely shock you. Your body is about to force you into the biggest life upgrade you've ever experienced. And you're going to hate it at first, then thank yourself for the rest of your life. All those stress-eating habits, those drinks to unwind after dealing with toxic people, those late nights scrolling social media instead of sleeping, your body is about to start rejecting all of it. Not because you're getting old, because you're getting powerful, and power requires a clean vessel. You might start feeling nauseous after foods that never bothered you before. Your hangovers might last 3 days instead of 1. Your body might start demanding 8 hours of sleep instead of letting you function on 4. Sugar might start making you feel sick. Alcohol might give you headaches that last for days. Your digestive system might stage a full rebellion against processed foods. This isn't your body betraying you. This is your body protecting your new energy. Your physical vessel is upgrading itself to match your spiritual evolution. It's refusing to tolerate anything that dims your light or clouds your judgment. The people who used to rely on your people-pleasing tendencies are about to lose their minds, and you're going to watch it happen with the most peaceful smile on your face. Your chronically late friend who always makes you wait, they just realized you'll actually leave without them now. Your sibling who always borrows money and forgets to pay it back, they just discovered you've developed a very inconvenient case of sudden deafness when they mention needing help with bills. They tried their usual sob story about unexpected expenses, and you looked them right in the eye and said, "That sounds really stressful for you. I hope you figure it out." The drama-addicted friend who always calls during your quiet time with some crisis that requires immediate attention. They're about to learn that your phone has an amazing feature called Do Not Disturb, and you're not afraid to use it. The funniest part is watching them try to figure out what changed. They'll test different approaches like they're conducting scientific experiments. First comes the guilt trip. You've really changed. You used to be so helpful. Then comes the fake concern. Are you okay? You seem different lately. Finally comes the anger. You think you're better than everyone now. And through it all, you'll just smile and think, how do you like me now? Because you've finally learned the most powerful word in the English language. No. Just no. No explanation required. No justification needed. No apology attached. Pure, clean, beautiful boundaries. The people who respect boundaries are going to love this new version of you. The people who hate boundaries are going to reveal exactly who they really are. And that information is going to be invaluable as you continue building your new life. Something absolutely mind-blowing is happening to your learning capacity right now. You don't just learn from your own mistakes anymore, you learn from everyone else's mistakes before you make them. It's like having access to a database of human behavior that updates in real time. This is why people are starting to feel intimidated by you. You're not making the same mistakes everyone else makes. You're not falling for the same lies everyone else falls for. You're moving through life like someone who has access to the answer key, and frankly, you do. The answer key is called wisdom, and you've been collecting it faster than anyone expected. Your pattern recognition has become so advanced that you can predict how situations will unfold based on the opening moves. You see the red flags others miss. You hear the warning sirens others ignore. People are going to start asking for your advice because they can sense that you see things they don't. They're going to be amazed by your ability to cut through drama and get to the heart of any situation. What they don't realize is that you've simply learned to trust your intuition over other people's explanations. And now let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who see the world differently, the silent guardians, the watchful souls, always awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths, they forge their own, fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you feel it deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No masks, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here, a place where kindred spirits gather to share wisdom, to connect, to transform. Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine, because we're always here, watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. Your body is about to become your greatest ally in this transformation, and it's going to demand some serious changes that will shock everyone around you. All those years of stress eating your feelings, numbing yourself after dealing with difficult people, pushing through exhaustion instead of resting, your body kept track of all of it, and now it's time for payback, though not in the way you think. Your body is going to start rejecting anything that doesn't serve your new energy. That glass of wine that used to help you relax, it might start giving you 3-day headaches. Those comfort foods that used to soothe your stress, your stomach might stage a full rebellion. That late-night social media scrolling that used to help you decompress, your sleep cycle is going to demand better. Your digestive system is about to become incredibly sensitive to stress and processed foods. Your nervous system is going to require more rest and recovery time. Your immune system is going to stop tolerating the chronic inflammation caused by toxic relationships and environments. People are going to be amazed by your discipline when you start declining happy hour invitations and junk food offerings. What they don't understand is that it's not discipline, it's survival. Your body has simply stopped accepting anything that dims your light or clouds your judgment. Something profound is happening deep inside you right now, and it's going to change everything about how you move through the world. That little kid who learned to be quiet to avoid conflict, who learned to say yes to avoid rejection, who learned to shrink to make others comfortable, they're finally safe enough to speak up. After years of hiding behind people-pleasing behaviors, your inner child is watching you set boundaries with absolute amazement. You're going to find yourself saying things you never thought you'd have the courage to say. That doesn't work for me. I'm not comfortable with that. Let me think about it and get back to you. Simple phrases that feel revolutionary coming out of your mouth. Your inner child is also going to start having opinions about things you've been neutral about for years. You might suddenly have strong preferences about how you spend your weekends. You might discover that you actually hate certain activities you've been participating in just to keep the peace. You might realize that your taste in friends, entertainment, and even food has been influenced by what others expected rather than what you actually enjoy. For the first time in their life, someone is protecting them. Someone is saying, no, we don't have to accept disrespectful treatment. Someone is proving that safety is possible, and that someone is you. You're becoming the parent you needed, the protector you deserved, the advocate you always wished for. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing every version of yourself that ever felt powerless. The changes you're making are about to create waves in every area of your life, and some of those waves are going to surprise you in the most delightful ways. At work, you're going to notice that the colleagues who respect boundaries start seeking you out more. They feel safe around your energy because they know you're not going to dump your problems on them or try to manipulate them into solving your issues. You become the person everyone wants on their team because you're reliable without being a pushover. Your productivity is going to skyrocket because you're no longer spending half your day managing other people's emotions or cleaning up messes that aren't yours to clean. You're going to start leaving work at work instead of carrying everyone else's stress home with you. In your family, the healthy relationships are going to get stronger while the toxic ones naturally fade. Your emotionally mature relatives are going to appreciate your directness and honesty. They're going to start confiding in you more because they know you won't judge them or try to fix them. You'll just listen and support. The manipulative family members are going to stop calling as much because you're no longer a reliable source of drama or free labor. They might complain to other family members about how you've changed, and those complaints are going to serve as a screening system to show you who else has healthy boundaries. Your social circle is going to shift dramatically. Friends who only contacted you when they needed something are going to gradually disappear. The ones who stick around are going to be the ones who actually enjoy your company without needing anything from you. New people are going to appear who are drawn to your authentic energy. You're going to attract friends who have their own lives, their own interests, and their own emotional stability. Conversations are going to become more interesting because you're not constantly playing therapist to people who refuse to help themselves. And romantically, you're about to attract a completely different caliber of person. Someone who isn't intimidated by your strength, who doesn't need to control you to feel secure, who actually appreciates having a partner with boundaries instead of a pushover they can manipulate. The quality of every relationship in your life is about to improve dramatically, and it's all because you finally learned to respect yourself enough to demand respect from others. Something extraordinary is happening to your self-perception right now, and it's going to change everything about how you show up in the world. All those years of being told you were too sensitive, too demanding, or too much are being revealed for what they really were, attempts to dim your light so others could feel comfortable in their darkness. The people who said these things to you weren't trying to help you grow, they were trying to keep you small. You're starting to realize that your sensitivity was actually intuition, your demands were actually standards, your too much was actually just enough for someone who deserves to be treated well. This confidence isn't the fake kind that comes from putting others down or comparing yourself to people who have less. This is the real deal, the unshakable knowing that you deserve respect, kindness, and genuine care. You're not demanding these things from the world anymore because you're finally giving them to yourself. Your brain has just installed a completely new operating system, and it's running some fascinating new programs that are going to change everything about how you process relationships and situations. Program 1. Instant pattern recognition. You can spot manipulation tactics within seconds now. That slightly aggressive "just kidding" after someone insults you, flagged immediately as a passive-aggressive attack disguised as humor. The fake emergency that always seems to happen when you set boundaries, detected and dismissed as manufactured crisis designed to make you feel guilty. The guilt trip disguised as concern, seen from miles away and decoded as emotional manipulation. Program 2. Emotional firewall. Other people's chaos can no longer automatically become your chaos. When your dramatic friend calls crying about their latest self-created crisis, you feel compassion without feeling responsible. You can offer support without offering to fix everything. You can listen without absorbing their emotional state as your own. Your nervous system has learned to stay calm in the presence of other people's storms. You're no longer an emotional sponge that soaks up whatever energy is around you. You've developed selective permeability. You let in the good and filter out the toxic. Program 3. Energy conservation mode. You're no longer giving premium energy to people who bring discount behavior. Your time, attention, and emotional labor have become valuable resources that you allocate intentionally instead of giving away freely. You've learned to recognize energy vampires before they can attach themselves to you. That coworker who always wants to complain about their workload but never wants to hear solutions. You now know to limit those conversations to 2 minutes max. That friend who only calls when they need something but is never available when you need support. Your phone mysteriously becomes unavailable when their name appears on the screen. Program 4. Automatic boundary enforcement. Your boundaries are no longer suggestions that you hope people will respect. They're non-negotiable policies that you enforce automatically. When someone crosses a line, your response is immediate and consistent. No more warnings, no more second chances, no more explanations. This new operating system is so efficient that you're going to have energy left over for things you actually enjoy. Hobbies you abandoned because you were too busy managing other people's emotions. Dreams you put on hold because you were too exhausted from being everyone's unpaid therapist. Goals you gave up on because you spent all your time solving other people's problems. Your life is about to become yours again. The most beautiful part of this entire transformation is what happens when you realize you've actually won. Not against other people, against the old version of yourself that accepted less than you deserved. You're going to have moments where you catch yourself in the mirror and think, who is this person? Because the person looking back at you has clear eyes, straight shoulders, and the kind of calm confidence that can't be shaken by other people's opinions. You'll remember the person you used to be, always anxious about disappointing others, always second-guessing your own feelings, always making yourself smaller to accommodate people who didn't deserve the space you gave them. And you'll feel such profound gratitude for how far you've come. Your transformation doesn't just change your life, it gives other people permission to change theirs too, and this is where things get really exciting. You didn't tell them to make these changes, you didn't give them advice or push them toward different choices. You simply showed them what it looks like when someone chooses themselves, and they realize they could make that choice too. This is the real power of chosen ones. You don't just transform your own life, you become living proof that transformation is possible. You become the evidence that people can change, that boundaries work, that self-respect is achievable. Your courage is contagious, your boundaries are inspiring, your self-respect is giving other people permission to respect themselves too. And secretly, this might be the most satisfying part of all, watching the people you care about find their own strength, set their own boundaries, and start choosing themselves too. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing your entire circle by modeling what healthy relationships look like. The ripple effect of your transformation is going to reach people you don't even know. Your friend is going to tell their friend about how you handle difficult people. Your coworker is going to share your boundary-setting techniques with their partner. Your family member is going to use your strategies with their own toxic relatives. You're becoming a teacher without trying, a leader without asking, and an inspiration without realizing it. You're going to look back at the person you used to be with such tenderness and pride. Tender, because you understand now how much pain that version of you was carrying. Pride, because you see how much courage it took to choose something different. Your new normal is going to feel surreal at first. Peaceful relationships, respectful communication. People who actually appreciate your time and energy instead of taking it for granted. A life that revolves around your values instead of other people's demands. You're going to catch yourself expecting the other shoe to drop, waiting for the drama to start, preparing for the next crisis. And slowly, you'll realize that the chaos you lived in for so long wasn't normal. It was what happens when you have weak boundaries and attract people who benefit from your people-pleasing. Your nervous system is going to take time to adjust to this new reality. After years of being in survival mode, learning to live in peace takes practice. Be patient with yourself as you learn to trust that this stability is real and lasting. Your weekends are going to feel different when they're not filled with obligations you resent. Your evenings are going to feel peaceful when your phone isn't constantly buzzing with other people's emergencies. Your mornings are going to feel calm when you're not dreading the manipulation attempts that used to start before you even had coffee. You're going to discover interests you forgot you had. Hobbies you abandoned are going to call to you again. Dreams you shelved are going to dust themselves off and demand attention. The creative energy that was being drained by toxic people is going to return with a vengeance. People are going to comment on how relaxed you look, how peaceful your energy feels, how much happier you seem. They'll ask what you're doing differently, and you'll smile because you know the secret isn't what you're doing, it's what you're no longer tolerating. Your health is going to improve in ways that will surprise you. Stress-related symptoms you've carried for years are going to disappear. Your sleep is going to get deeper. Your digestion is going to improve. Your energy levels are going to stabilize. And through it all, you're going to feel this incredible sense of coming home to yourself, like you've finally found the person you were always meant to be underneath all the conditioning that taught you to be small. Chosen one. What you've just experienced isn't just personal growth, it's spiritual evolution. You haven't just learned to set boundaries, you've remembered who you really are beneath all the conditioning that taught you to be small. The people who tried to control you taught you something invaluable without meaning to. They showed you exactly what you will never accept again. Every manipulation attempt that used to work is now a reminder of your own power. Every guilt trip that used to succeed is now evidence of how much you've grown. You are going to inspire people just by existing authentically. You are going to heal relationships just by being honest. You are going to change family patterns just by refusing to participate in toxicity. And yes, you really do go from zero to informed real quick. That's not a bug in your system, that's a feature. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you chosen. The old you would have needed 3 years and a therapist to figure out what the new you recognizes in 3 minutes. The old you would have made excuses for behavior the new you simply walks away from. You're not just living differently now, you're living as yourself. Finally, completely, unapologetically yourself. And that, chosen one, is what freedom feels like.